Hello, this is Dallas McMillan here from Influential. Today I'm talking about how you create, communicate and deliver value in your business and how that needs to vary through the marketing process on your way to supporting your clients in their buying journey. So when people first come to you, their needs for value, the sort of way they want to interact with you is different than at the end of the buying process. And it varies at each stage of the buying process. So we're going to go through that in detail. Now we'll be using this sort of 5-step sales funnel, which I relate to the social sales process, which I'll go into during this video. So the key thing is to create, communicate and deliver value at appropriate stages through your customer's buying process. Now, the way your best clients search for, choose, and buy your most valuable products and services has changed. There used to be a time when people had a problem, they'd pretty much come straight to you for diagnosis and then the solution. Now, though, they search for, they talk about, they share, they shop for solutions to their problem before they even call you, and they'll only call you at the end if it's necessary. So things like Google, online shopping, social media has dramatically changed how our customers interact with businesses and providers on their way to purchasing your products and services. So there's sort of 5 key steps that I've identified in the buying process. They are search, when people are looking for answers to their problems; social, where they talk to people and get advice as to where they fit, whether they're looking at the right things. They share resources, extra information such as sales and marketing collateral or educational resources that help them make sense of what product they need. They then go shopping for products, and generally then they need to buy it from a provider. So at that point, they're more likely to move out of just looking for commodity products and looking for a complete solution. And that's typically the time when they'll actually call a professional service firm or a product seller, is when they're at the solution phase already. They think, oh, this is what I need, can you sell it to me? And then you've got a brief opportunity to sell them what they really need rather than what they think they need. So in this buying process, in order to sell effectively, you need to build up a relationship with the client. Specifically, they need to know, like, and trust you before they're willing to try and buy your most valuable products and services. And I like to think that you need to build a relationship, you need to build trust, and you need to build a business case before they'll even buy what you're telling them, before they'll even believe your take on the world. So, and that needs to happen long before they'll actually purchase the product. So things have really changed because people are coming in pre-sold on another idea often before they come to us, and we've actually got to reframe what they think they want into what they really need based on our expert advice. Now, the key to catching people early in the buying process is to give them the sort of value that they're looking for at that stage of the buying process, and that makes sense to them, that guides them to the next step of them finding the right answer. So with your expertise, you're able to predict what they're looking for at each stage of the buying process and give them the right sort of value that they're ready for. If you try to sell them solution at the beginning, if they're just getting to know you, if they're just searching for those initial questions, answers to their questions, and you try to sell them the solution, it's too early and you'll repel them. And likewise, if you try to give them early stage information at the end, you've sort of missed the chance. So pacing the buyer, give them the right information at the right time is essential. Of course, the type of the context of the information that you're going to share will vary, but your promise, the thing they're really buying, the hope that you can fulfill and get them from where they are now to where they want to be, that should remain constant and congruent, even though the type of information and value that you deliver through the buying process will vary. So let's go through these 5 stages. So the first step is level 1. And this is where people are searching for information about their situation. They've suddenly noticed they've got a symptom or they've got a nagging problem, and they go looking for information to help them make sense of their situation. So that they're not looking for answers yet. They just want to know what's going on. Secondly, once they have found information, they know what's going on, they need to sort of get inspired enough to take action on this. So, and at this stage of the relationship, they are starting to build a relationship with individual providers. So this is an opportunity for them to decide they like you or otherwise, or they like your approach or your solution. And this is the social phase. And very often, the people they're actually interacting with is not you, but rather their peers. And so they're looking for people like them who have situations that are very similar, and checking that they're fitting into, that they are in the right place, that their interpretation of what's going on fits with people like them. Because by and large, people are herd animals. They want to know that there's other people like them, that they've got the right interpretation that's appropriate for where they are in life. The next phase is the sharing phase, and this is where people are sharing educational resources. So people will search for information on their own. They'll talk to other people, whether online in real life or on online forums, social media, lots of different channels, but they're communicating with each other, and people will say, oh, you should read this, you should download this, go and talk to this person, they've got some material that will help you understand what's going on, or check out this brochure. It's ways to introduce people to published marketing and educational collateral. So, and that's where you start to build trust in a specific product or a solution or a provider. And for you as a provider, this is an opportunity to educate your clients and help them understand what they need and what they should be doing. However, if you haven't first built awareness of who you are so they know you, and you haven't built rapport and a relationship so they like you, and that they know that you're for people like them, then they're not interested in you educating them. You haven't earned the right to educate them or to ask for trust. So this is why these things are in sequence. The next phase of the buying process is the shopping phase. And this is where people are searching for solutions. They know what the problem is now. They've figured out the general type of solution they need to their problem, and they're searching for a specific solution for them. So they go shopping, and this is largely a sort of price and feature comparison. So they're looking for quick, easy answers that seem to meet their criteria, and they're looking to implement a solution there. Now, the way that I approach this is that if you are selling a high value product or service, and that's what I specialize in, then you don't want to be, you don't particularly want people buying your off the shelf products. Instead, you want to have a high value solution that specifically addresses a specific problem for a specific client, and that can't be bought off the shelf. So while you might have some off-the-shelf products that they can compare, your high-value product should be a more bespoke solution, whether it's one-on-one consulting or a group coaching program or a tender and proposal process, but it shouldn't be shoppable. If they can shop for it, then it makes it look like a commodity. So you sort of want the full solution to be behind closed doors. Now, you may well still have off-the-shelf products and services where you can implement things, but as you'll see in this next step, what I consider the final step of service and value delivery is transformation. And that's where you concierge the change that the client is looking for. So let's take an example of someone who is wanting to buy a new house and move into the new home. Now, you can sell the real estate, you can sell conveyancing services, you can sell lots of different components to that transaction that lead to the transformation. But a transformational high value product gives them everything bundled together. You take care of all the stress, you take care of all the worry. They walk in and they walk out with the finished product of them moving into a new home with all their furniture in place, for example. That is a transformative experience where they go from A to B without them having to do all the legwork. Now, that's a slightly more complex example than you might need to deliver in your business, but you see how that's totally different to just selling the real estate. In one case, you've got the paperwork, you legally own the house, but there's no way you can actually move in, or you can't just go in there and start living there. You've got a lot more work to do. Whereas with the complete solution, the transformational solution, you deliver the finished product. So what I would like you to be thinking is, how do we make sure that we've got a product at this level and that we're able to communicate this value up front? Because the transformation is going to be most close to your promise. That's the promise of transformation that your brand offers. If you sell at this level, you can build a perfectly adequate business, but most people are in this business. It's a commodified business. You can buy conveyancing here, you can buy it down the road, you can buy it online. That's a high competition, low margin business compared to a more bespoke solution, which might be doing complete home migrations for top-end executives, for example, which would be the transformational solution. So always think of where you can provide the most complete transformational outcome to your clients. This is where you can create the greatest differentiation and create the most value. But if someone was coming to you talking about, oh, I'm thinking of moving house, and you bombarded them with the details of your high value product and rush them to buy, then you would confuse them, because they haven't yet really identified their interest in the product. They don't know the basics that they need to know before they're able to choose your product versus another one. They haven't tried to do any of it themselves. So this try phase is very important in giving people context. That could be something like a planning session, or a workshop you could do with them, or perhaps an introductory consultation, something that gives them a taste of what the finished product looks like and maps it out for them so they know what they're going to be getting. So there are our 5 phases toward selling a high value product or service. And when in your marketing, you want to be making sure that each phase of your marketing is delivering relevant information. So early on, if people, let's just go back. In the first stages of people's buying process, they're searching for information. And if you're trying to educate them at this level, they're not ready for education. They don't know you, they don't care about your business. So at this stage, they're just after general information. As they're moving into the is this for me? Do I even like your business phase? Then they're looking for inspiration and often entertainment. So this is the world of social media, of blogs, of perhaps attending a webinar, things where they're getting inspired and fired up about doing it. Here, your goal is making them think, this is worth my while. And if you just give information at this stage, which is what a lot of people do, then you won't inspire them and they won't be interested in moving forward to buy. And likewise, if you try to educate them at this sort of social phase, on social media, and this is something I've done, try to educate people on social media, it doesn't work. People aren't on social media to be educated. They're on social media to have fun, find a few happy moments in the day, some light entertainment. It's a place where you can inspire them to seek education, not somewhere you can effectively deliver education. For that, you'd say, come along to the webinar, download the ebook, and they'd enter a more private world of learning about what they need to know in order to move forward. And in this shopping phase, they're wanting to try things out. So part of the reason people come to you and say, oh, how much is that? Before you really know enough about them to give them a price, is they don't know what else to ask. They're looking for some way to kick the tires and slam the doors on your product or service and see, look like they know what they're doing, get a feel for what's involved. If this looks right for them, how can this work for me is probably the most important question they're asking. They wouldn't have come this far if they didn't know about you, like what you've generally got on offer, believe you can deliver something. Now they want to know that it's actually going to work for them, and they want some way to try that out, to test it. So you want to have an introductory product, a trial, a sample, a test to verify that it's going to work for them, some sort of diagnostic evaluation. And that lets them try out your promise and see whether it's going to fit with them. And then finally, at the solution phase, they're willing to buy, and they need to be prepared to undergo a transformation. So there really are 5 steps, and you just want to pace the information according to the stage of the person's buying cycle, according to the context, up here, what level they're at in terms of their buying context. Because if you try to sell to someone on social media or try to educate someone on social media, it just doesn't work. That's not the place for it. So make sure you deliver the right type of content in the right context to the right people, and you'll enjoy much greater success. So Dallas from Influential, thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.